Hey, it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. here at Kroger, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
Today's Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix kicked off the 2023 season. At the start of the race, you had a front row set by the Red Bull cars, Verstappen in first, Perez in second. But as they got off the line, Verstappen struggled, but Perez did much more worse, and next thing you know, Leclerc is passed by Perez and he's going towards Verstappen, and they were side by side in turn one, but Verstappen had a preferred line and he held on to first place, and he did not look back at all because he was darn quick. But in that first stint, though, the running order for the top five was really Verstappen and Leclerc and Perez and Sainz and Hamilton. But a lot of y'all may say, what happened to Alonso? Well, Alonso in turn three was dive bombed by his teammate Lance Stroll, who came out of nowhere and hit Alonso. I don't know how Alonso did not get a puncture from it, but he continued on, and so did Stroll. And after that happened, things kind of died down for a couple of laps until the pit window opened. And that's when we figured out McLaren has had their hands full at the start of this year. They struggled in winter testing, and they're struggling in race number one, just like they did last year. Oscar Piastri, the rookie driver from Australia, had a gearbox failure. And then shortly after that, we learned that Lando Norris has overheating issues and he's having to pit every so often. Not a good start for the McLaren team. And after that, we figured out that Esteban Ocon, the driver for the Alpine Formula One team, the pink team, had an issue at the start of the race where he did not line up in his proper position. Next thing you know, he's having to take his car to the pits and serve that penalty. But when you're serving a penalty, no one can touch the car. And what did Alpine do? They touched the car, tried to replace that front wing. So they had to come back down again and serve another penalty. But what happened there? They were speeding in the pits twice. And not a good day for Esteban Ocon, because he had a DNF, but he did not finish dead last, because in 20th place, he had Oscar Piastri. All right, in 19th place, he had Charles Leclerc, but Leclerc was quick all day, but at the end had an engine failure, and that's where Ferrari are kind of scratching their heads right now. They were quick early on, but faded towards the end with both drivers. Sainz had a podium secured, I thought, but Alonso passed him, and Hamilton nearly did also. So Ferrari has they got to sort some things out over this next week and a half before Saudi Arabia, because things right now are not looking good for them. And I believe the front two teams are Red Bull and Aston Martin. And at the end, like I said, Alonso got by. He held that podium. So it was Verstappen, Perez, and Alonso. But here was the running order of the race. You got Verstappen winning, Perez in second, Alonso in third, Sainz in fourth, Hamilton in fifth place. And wow, who would have thought the Mercedes cars would have been up there in contention in today's race? I didn't really think so. But he had Lance Stroll in P6, and that's not a bad effort from him. Just think about it. A couple of days ago, he got into a Formula One car for the first time since he hurt his wrist. He broke his wrist, actually. And coming home in sixth place, that's very impressive. And I wanted to see what kind of momentum this team builds over this week and a half before they go to Saudi Arabia, which I think they're going to be the team to beat because they're good at high-speed corners. All right, but George Russell in seventh place, kind of disappointed in his effort. I didn't think he was matching his teammate Lewis Hamilton at all, besides the first stage of the race. But besides that, he was well off. He was racing Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas for the majority part of the race. Kind of disappointing there for Russell. Behind him, you got Valtteri Bottas. A big deal for him because Alfa Romeo did not look promising in testing. Pierre Gasly, who started dead last, finished ninth. Alex Albon, P10. Great effort for him. First race for James Vowles as a team principal, and he's getting points. Good deal. P11, Yuki Tsunoda. P12, Logan Sargent, a great rookie campaign starting race. I'm very impressed by the American driver. Hopefully he can keep on with his performances, because I believe he's going to score some points before too long. And if he does good, he may get a promotion to a bigger ride next year. Kevin Magnussen followed behind him, Nick De Vries, Nico Hulkenberg. And Nico Hulkenberg, let's rewind it a little second. He's been out of Formula One for a while now, and for him to go out there and kind of do all right in his first race because Haas is just a car that has one lap pace. They don't have nothing else. They don't have long run speed. They don't have nothing. They're just a one lap car. For him to go in there and be a little bit competitive, impressed me. Good weekend for Nico Hülkenberg. I know it's not the result he was hoping for, but I just believe, though, it's a great first race back. It's like, you can't expect too much. You got to be realistic. All right, but behind him, you got Zhou Guanyu, who got the fastest lap at the end of the race. Lando Norris, and that's where you had the 3 DNF drivers, Esteban Ocon, Charles Leclerc, and Oscar Piastri. Verstappen leads the points. He won the first race in Bahrain. Deserts continue with the first winner of the season. Fails to win the championship. Time will tell. Alonso looks quick. Verstappen's going to be on his heels. Please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think about today's race.